we have a recipe today, and that has been given to us by Braden, Brooklyn, and Bella. So thank you guys for sending us your fantastic recipe. And we get to use apples again, which I know Isaiah is excited about. So he was saying he wanted to. Yeah. So we're going to do some cutting today. We're probably going to have an adult help us a little bit with the cutting. And let's see, make sure everybody has, do you have like a whisk? Do you have a whisk available? And maybe a spatula and maybe a spoon or two. And for the adults and the big kids, you probably have a sharp knife to use. And for the smaller kids, you might have like a butter knife that's serrated or something, so you can help cut as well. And let's see, you'll obviously have my ingredient packs with everything. So I think the only things that I didn't provide were some salt and some vanilla. So just making sure you guys have those on hand. We'll drop those in later. I'm excited about this recipe. Now, I was going to try to add caramel chips to this recipe because I thought caramel apple muffins would be amazing. I couldn't find caramel chips. I thought I found some. I bought them. Turns out they had chocolate on the outside, caramel on the inside. And I bought like 3 big bags and I realized I can't use them. So I thought chocolate wouldn't be that as good. We want just the good caramel stuff. So if you have caramel syrup at home, that could be a great addition afterwards to maybe drizzle on top. But we're just gonna make these appley muffins that are healthy for us. And there's no sugar in them, which I love. And but you're not gonna miss it because they're nice and sweet. So we're gonna get started. Is everybody ready to go? Yeah? Okay. So we're gonna start with, you have a cup of flour, and I already added in your ingredient mixes baking soda and baking powder. So you have those already mixed in. So you want to dump that into a bowl. And we're gonna add a little bit more to this, but it doesn't have to be that big of a bowl. You're gonna dump that stuff into a bowl and you're gonna whisk these ingredients together. I didn't mix them, so you might see a little bit of white at the top. And most everybody has white whole wheat flour. I added a little bit of all-purpose because I was running low with the white whole wheat, but it's mostly white whole wheat. River, yours this morning has all-purpose flour because I was out of the white whole wheat by this morning. So
we can't eat it now.
It's all gonna taste good anyway. So, okay, so we've got that. Now you also have some cinnamon. You have a little tiny thing of cinnamon.
Oh, my implement.
Now the recipe that Braden, Brooklyn, and Bella gave us, if I were to have, we're doing a half of that recipe, and a half of the recipe would have been half a teaspoon, but I gave you about a teaspoon because I like it nice and cinnamony. So you're gonna just dump what I measured out in, and Freddie and Mom, you guys, I've used a teaspoon instead of a half teaspoon.
Yeah, we're just making the full batch because we'll.
Oh, okay. Then you might want to put a little extra in
We'll
because it'll be, I don't know, I like it really strong with the cinnamon flavor. So you're gonna take your whisk. Let's just whisk that cinnamon together on there.
Put a little more in.
And then we're gonna set our bowl aside because we're gonna use this in a little bit. The next thing we have to do is use our apples. So this apple, what I like about this recipe is it's got apple in all sorts of different ways. We're gonna put grated apple in there, or if you don't have a box grater or a hand grater, you can probably use, just cut it really, really small. And then they want bigger chunks. We're gonna have a little bit of like diced. So think about like little kind of cubes. We're gonna cut it into cube sizes. And then, so the apple is gonna be grated and diced. And then we also have applesauce for later too. So she's got all these different ways of adding, and it's gonna make it so tasty and very appley. So you wanna get a bowl and you can grate. What I did was I actually cut my apple first,
Hold on.
and then I just gave my slice of apple to my son when he grated it. And he grated it, and it ended up being that the skin kind of stuck together, and you're able to just sort of pull that out if you want. Or you can, I didn't peel them. I just went straight to grating, and I grated it on our box grater. So you can see it coming out underneath.
See if you can grate it.
You can use most of the apple. I gave everybody big apples,
Eat apple.
and we had enough to have a few bites of the apple. Make sure you guys get a taste of these apples. Do you guys know what they're called? These apples? Anyone?
That was a big bite.
Granny Smith apples. So they're very tart. You make, I saw Isaiah make a face like that.
This one.
Be very careful, it's sharp.
Whoa, wow,
You
wow.
want to be really careful if you're doing the grating, because these are little knives and they're very sharp. That's how they're cutting our apples so nicely.
Am I supposed to be grating it into the powder, or did I mess up?
You can grate it straight into the powder. I was grating it into a separate bowl, but then we will add to the powder. Because
okay.
When you grate it, it might be a little too juicy. You may need to squeeze out some of the juice.
Okay, no problem.
Squeeze out some of the juice, buddy.
But it won't really matter because we're going to add it to the powder. Well, I have some skin left over. I'm just going to set it aside. And when I dice my apples, I'm leaving the skin on that as well.
I think we might need a little more, Freddie.
How do you do it?
Yeah.
How do you play it?
You want to grate? Okay, hold it way over here. You can help you.
And parents of the little kids, if you put the apples in kind of slices, they'd be able to slice across.
Whoa.
Good job.
Rover, do you want to do this?
Oh, good.
We're gonna end up wanting about a half a cup of the grated and about a half a cup of the dice, which leaves maybe a fourth of the apple you guys can just eat. Remember, when you're dicing your apples, they're not really gonna change too much in size. So think about when you're eating your muffins, how big do you want that to be?
Whoa.
Squeeze it. Oh, I'm just squeeze it in water. Yeah. Squeeze it first. Yeah.
How we doing?
Put it in.
You can put your finger in there. I don't touch you. Put it in the sink.
All right.
Cut this into squares.
A lot of juice in the apple. After you grate it, you can kind of squeeze some of it out.
Oh, hell.
And then it's gonna go into our flour mixture.
There you go.
So once you have it all
There you go.
prepared, throw it into your flour mixture. And then you can take your, we'll use our whisk in a little bit, but now since it's really chunky, a whisk isn't gonna work. So you can use your spoon and stir it around in the flour. Now last week,
Good job.
we used flour just a little bit. And I don't know if you guys remember why, but I think one of the reasons why she puts the apple in the flour first is because it absorbs some of the liquid, so it's not too.
Okay.
Hang on, buddy.
Okay, you want to start stirring this around, sweetie?
Hey, hey.
How are we doing?
Mom.
It's not a great.
So we're gonna put your apple into the flour mixture and stir it up, coat it all up.
Iced apple too? Are we supposed to, we're not supposed to skin the apple, right? We used all of it.
Yeah, I didn't skin it. When I was grating the apple, the skin kind of comes off. And so I didn't include that, but I included the diced apples with the skin on.
Okay.
You probably could if you wanted to, but I made them and I didn't notice a difference. I liked it.
When someone, do not put your fingers in the area, please.
Okay.
It's okay.
So Brayden, Brooklyn, and Bella, are we on track? Are we doing the right stuff? Yeah? Okay, sounds good. Added to this dry mixture is a little bit of salt. If you want to throw a little bit of salt in there, about like a 1/4 teaspoon, maybe 1/2 teaspoon. That you can just put in with the flour mixture and mix it in.
Tasting.
We have these dry apples. It smells probably pretty good because it probably smells like cinnamon and apples. It's gonna taste really good. After we stir that, we're gonna set our apple mixture and our flour mixture to the side, and we're gonna have another bowl. How's that taste, Isaiah? Probably very floury, right? Maybe not so good. If it was just sugar and cinnamon, that might be excellent, but okay. So we're gonna set our flour mixture aside and have our new bowl. And you wanna grab your whisk again. So you've got 4 little containers of things. I'll tell you what, if I can find reusable small containers, I might have to go that route because it breaks my heart to use all this plastic every week. This one in particular, because we needed 4 liquidy 1/4 cups of things. And we're gonna a cup full of oil that we're gonna put in. And we're gonna put that into our mixing bowl. And you're gonna add the honey as well. So make sure you take a taste of the honey because that's what we're gonna use
Okay,
to
pour this one
make
in there.
our muffins very sweet.
Hold on, that's it.
Here, pour this one in here.
Ooh, put your finger in there. Taste it.
Pour it in this one.
Yeah, dump it in here. Oh, we're not there yet, but this one.
And pour the
What's
honey.
Good.
You like it? Good. It's nice and sweet. Who makes the honey for us? Hmm?
Please.
Here, can you pour this in?
That's right. Thank
Pour
you.
it in.
Get it in there. You can use your finger too.
Well, honey is naturally sweet. That's why we don't need to use any sugar.
I'm gonna start. I'm just
Now you're gonna take your whisk and let's whisk the oil and the honey together till it's all mixed up. Just the oil and the honey. We'll mix it first.
No, because I don't know where it's at, so you're gonna use this.
Get it all up. Make sure it's.
Here's where it goes.
For this recipe, you could use honey or you could use maple syrup.
Some apple with honey.
You may be able to use agave too. I'm not sure if it's a 1-to-1. But we're using honey just because I think it's
Oh, what's this?
all right. Do we have it all blended? Do we have our honey and our oil blended together?
What happened?
That's added.
Just a little bit. You're eating.
We're gonna add our yogurt
Do it.
and our applesauce. You can take a taste of both of those. So we're adding Greek yogurt. This is a 2% fat yogurt, but I think any yogurt would work. Any Greek yogurt would work. This adds a little tanginess. And this is not sweetened, but once we add it to our mixture, it's gonna add some sweet to it. So you wanna take a taste of that yogurt and see what you think. It's not gonna be probably exactly like the yogurt you have that already has fruit or sugar in it.
It's not sour cream, it's yogurt, baby.
It's yogurt. Yep.
Like it.
But you know, I use yogurt instead of sour cream.
There you go.
Now
Can
put
you
it
see that?
a little hard. You may have to use your finger.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Hey. Do it.
You add our yogurt, and then you can add the applesauce too. And even though I know you know what applesauce tastes like, you might need a little taste.
In a minute.
I have the 3 ways in this recipe.
Okay, that's applesauce.
What's this?
Applesauce?
Taste the applesauce.
You can taste the applesauce. Good, isn't it? And then we're gonna add about a half a teaspoon of vanilla for the wet.
Or more
Smell the
applesauce.
vanilla before you put it in. It smells so good. Not something you want to eat by itself though, but vanilla is really good when you add it to baked items. Add vanilla.
How much of the vanilla are we adding?
It's about a half a teaspoon. Yeah, half a teaspoon. I just eyeball it. I mean, usually I go a little bit more.
Oh, yogurt's on there.
Yeah, we're out of
That's it.
If you want to, you can taste your wet mixture. It's got a little bit of oil in there. It's got the honey, the applesauce, the yogurt. You can tell me what you think.
Hold on, don't stir it anymore. Wait until mommy comes back.
You want to taste it? Okay. hold on. Let's mix it all up first.
Spicy.
No, it's not spicy.
It's not spicy. Mm-mm.
It's gonna be really-
Allison?
Yep.
Oh, here, River wants to ask you something.
What?
Melissa didn't put applesauce on time
Oh,
because she's stirring.
I didn't know that's what she was gonna ask you.
that's totally
Oh.
fine, River. This, you know, and with any of these recipes, they're pretty forgiving, honestly. You can probably pour in the applesauce before or after the stirring. They're pretty
Sure.
good. Either
Pour
way.
it in.
Yeah.
I thought she had a legit question for you.
She was just telling on you. That's all.
I know. Now I'm embarrassed.
So we have our wet ingredients in one bowl and we have our dry ingredients in the other bowl with the apples and the dry. We're gonna mix those together. So my bowl with the wet is bigger than my dry. So I'm gonna put my dry into the wet.
Eggs. Here, put your eggs in.
You wanna dump it there?
See, I think we're gonna stay here.
Hey.
And, oh, you know what? I forgot the egg, guys. We need to add the egg. River, remember when I said you can add things sometimes even when they're late? You can add the egg now too. If you haven't put the dry into the wet, put the egg into the wet. But if you did already, like I did, I'm just gonna put it into the side and I'm gonna mix it all together. If
We
you
got it.
have the young ones doing the egg, you may want to have them do it into a small bowl just in case you have crack. Or if you've got some pretty seasoned chefs there, they can crack the egg straight into the bowl if they want.
Floating. It's not floating.
It is. It was floating at the top. We're gonna mix it all in.
Remember help?
All right, so I got my egg in there. Sorry about that. I can't believe I forgot.
It's not oh, you can't taste it. We can mix it all in.
We're gonna mix it all together. And you don't have to over mix it, but we want to make sure we get everything incorporated. So it's all looking wet.
Yeah.
And it's obviously gonna be lumpy because we got those big apples in there.
Yeah. We're not
Mama,
gonna mix it, but we're not gonna taste it.
It will be thick.
it's just honey.
Yeah, you can taste it.
Behind.
All right. If you have it all mixed. Wait a minute, it looks like some of you are still mixing. Then you'll be ready to put it into your muffins. And I gave you guys muffin liners. Hopefully you have muffin cups to put those in. And they can fill up pretty much. This is designed to make 6 pretty big muffins.
Look at
You wanna like this?
And make sure you taste the batter. Let me know what you think.
we have it.
Brayden, are we doing it right?
We have it.
It's made a big mess.
We good?
Yeah.
Are you done here now?
You okay, Susanna?
Now you spoon your batter into your muffin cups. And the last thing that we're gonna do before we put it in the oven is we're going to sprinkle on top with the sugar. So the muffins themselves don't need to be, but we're just adding a little bit more sweet to the top.
All right.
I already did how to make
It's
their one.
optional. If you don't want to put the sugar on, you don't have to.
Oh, put it in the bowl. Put it in the bowl.
Wow.
You,
Wow.
You made these from here?
you do that. You're making a mess. What's it taste like? It's good.
More.
Okay, hold on. We gotta put it in the. Yeah. Like my
I like the batter. Did you taste it?
Oh my God.
That's not your cup. Your cup's in your no.
River, did you taste the batter? No? Why not? I can't really hear what you're saying, but
And Melissa put in the right also.
that's okay. You can have a little taste.
Here, take a little taste. It won't hurt you. Just lick a little.
Mhm.
Just have a little lick.
You're doing a good job, buddy.
Oh, God.
What do you think, River?
River, I am not sure if I put sugar packets in yours this morning.
It's okay. I'm sure we have sugar over here, and
Yeah.
you were doing it now, so no biggie.
I think I've got sugar packets. I know I've got sugar packets in everybody else's. But I think I'm putting it together this morning. Now I'm thinking about it. I think I forgot.
It's okay. I think we have some anyway.
Okay. You're just gonna sprinkle some sugar on the top of your muffin. Take a little fingers, and sprinkle them, or if you have the packet, you can just shake it over.
Oh,
Uh-oh, yeah, we made a mess.
easy. Look it.
No, we can't look at.
There you go. Like this. How's that working out for you? Everybody looking good.
Fill them up. I fill them all up.
Down.
River, you can take a pinch of sugar and just sprinkle it on top of the muffin.
We gotta put some sugar in it. We're all done with this now.
Okay.
Apple.
You don't
You
want
can do more sugar
Fill
than
up
that.
quite a bit. They won't overflow too much either when they're in the oven. And so we are gonna bake these at 325 for about 23 to 25 minutes because we're using honey. And there was something in this recipe that I didn't know about, but she said honey tends to brown quickly, so you don't want to overdo it. And you bake it at a lower temperature at 325. So I like that little lesson. Brayden, Brooklyn, and Dwella, thank you very much for sending this to us. Because I learned something too.
You can sprinkle some on top if you want to. I'm gonna put it in the oven.
Hey, are you getting yours on top? Did you put the sugar on top?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it.
Hot, hot, that's right. Hot, hot.
Mama,
Yeah.
go. Oh, I want one. Mama,
Drinking game with River.
Gabby's down.
All right, so are we good to go, guys? We got everything in our muffin cups. We've got our sugar on top. We've got our ovens at 325. And I'd say peek on them at 23 minutes. I think I put mine in for maybe 24, maybe it was 25, but you want to just keep your eye on those. And I hope you guys enjoy these nice little healthy muffins. Let me know what you think. And again, thank you to our friends, Braden, Brooklyn, and Bella for giving us this excellent recipe. Next week, because it's the day before Halloween, I think we're gonna do monster smoothie bowls. We've made monster smoothies before where we just put the eyeballs on the outside, but this one we make it, we put it in a bowl and we cut fruit and we make things to make the face of our monsters, and they're green. So they'll be nice and healthy, but really tasty
Your finger.
also. So I'll be updating the link and sending that out in the next few days. And hopefully you guys have a wonderful weekend. And thanks for joining me.
oh.
I think Isaiah likes it.
I think so, yes. Yeah, make sure you lick the bowl. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye, Brady. Thanks for joining us.
Here, if you want to
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Good.